Alright guys, so welcome to the post game week 4 video. And like in all my previous videos, I'm going to quickly just run through the results from this game week and give my opinion. So the first game obviously started with Newcastle and Arsenal, a game which Arsenal won, a very important game for Arsenal no doubt. And obviously with the transfer window now shut and with news of Welbeck's injury, had they lost and Wenger didn't sign anyone, I can imagine things being even more tense. But end of the day, a great result for Arsenal. Let's not forget Newcastle just went away to Old Trafford and almost won the game as well. But Newcastle really shot themselves in the foot with the red card. Could have even had Sissoko red carded as well in the first half. And it's a game which Arsenal dominated, to be honest. Before that, they should have had a penalty with Bellerin being pulled down by Toivin. And they had some chances, of course, with Walcott. But, once a 10 men down, it becomes a case of Arsenal dominating proceedings. Can they break down the defence? And they eventually did. Ramsey shot saved, and Chamberlain, good shot. Colaccini got a slight deflection on it and 1-0 Arsenal. And to be honest, a professional result, 1-0 to the Arsenal. And to be honest, it's quite tricky when an opponent is 10 men down because it's quite clear they still have the counter attack threat. But I think with Newcastle's outfit, they didn't have much pace to cause that kind of problem with Arsenal. Because once Arsenal had taken the lead, it looked like Arsenal were gonna maybe even score two, and Giroud did have a great chance at the end. In terms of the bonuses, the allocation was, in my opinion, correct. Gabriel had an outstanding game. And with Mertesacker now returning, it really gives Wenger food for thought in terms of whether to pick Gabriel or to pick Mertesacker. And for fantasy people, this is something to maybe look at because Gabriel is somebody who's, I think, against Liverpool at home, he almost had a great chance to score the winning goal. So he's potentially a good defender to consider in fantasy because of his value and potentially the goal threat which he can pose. But let's not forget he's obviously he's got free bonus here, away at Newcastle and um, more bonus points than Koscielny. So that's something that really favours him at the moment and someone worth looking at. Monreal 2 bonus, no surprise there. And Krul pretty much kept a clean sheet without keeping one. He got 5 points in the week and he made obviously great number of saves, made 9 saves throughout the game. And it's actually a bit surprising he actually didn't get a bonus point. So yeah. For Villa and Sunderland took the lead with a good free kick from MVR, and this is the type of game that Dick Advocaat probably wants his team to get something out of, considering the first 2 games went quite bad for them, and they got a fortuitous draw at home at Swansea. But Villa did come back, and that's no surprise. And Tim Sherwood, I think, if you give him time and his team, because obviously there's been a lot of new recruitments and players leaving, Villa look like a decent outfit this season. But they are quite prone to injuries, I would say. I think their depth is a bit weak compared to some other teams around them, so they could potentially get into trouble if some key players went injured. But Sinclair, having scored a hat-trick midweek, came back to the first team, scored 2 goals. He's actually someone who's in my team as well, so that's great to see. And Sunderland in the second half for me dominated it in a way, got back, and they had a decent chance at the end, but overall I would say a fair result 2-2. The bonus, I think Sinclair really should have got 3, and Villa just had a great free kick, to be honest. And yeah, he played okay, but Lens was far more impressive. In terms of the 3 o'clock kickoffs and the second game, which is Bournemouth and Leicester, Bournemouth took the lead with Wilson's overhead kick, which had a slight deflection. Leicester, for me, were a bit unlucky with Morris' injury in the first half, and obviously in the second half, despite Morris being injured, they dominated proceedings, and Vardy rightly got the penalty and dispatched it. However, looking at the highlights, it's quite clear he probably should have had a second penalty, and that would have been great for Leicester because that would have really been the icing on the cake for a very great start to the season. However, Bournemouth should consider this as a point gain rather than 2 points lost, in my opinion. Now, with Mourinho's game, his second defeat at home as Chelsea manager, I don't think he has any complaints because this is a game which, for me, Palace dominated. And, Chelsea did come up with Falcao's goal. However, Sacco and Balassi were tearing Chelsea defence apart. And it wasn't surprising to see Mourinho at the end kind of be critical with his defence, and there is talk about Ivanovic potentially being dropped, etc. And obviously, Courtois has now an knee injury, so there's potentially a reshape, inevitable for Chelsea's defence. But to be honest, Crystal Palace have always shown to be a very good outfit away, and 3 wins out of 4. They lost against Arsenal, obviously, who I consider title contenders. So a good result for Palace, and it's not surprising. This result is not a surprise at all. I think Chelsea need to work on some stuff. Hazard, I think, needs to get involved. Start. I accept the fact that he cannot be in the same caliber of Messi and Ronaldo in terms of statistics, but as a player, he can, and eventually that will lead to goals and assists. So he was being criticised by the Belgian manager this week, and rightly so. I think he needs to show that desire again to kind of boss games, and that can only help Chelsea. Liverpool and West Ham, West Ham will be thinking, their fans especially, we've won 2 difficult away trips at the Emirates and Anfield, yet we've lost 2 home games against Bournemouth and Leicester, and in both the games, they kind of shot themselves in the foot with some mistakes. Leicester 2-1 and Bournemouth 4-3. So, but West Ham took the early lead, that no doubt calmed the nerves, and then Lovren's mistake led to Noble's second goal in the game, and yeah, I mean, Saka just killed the game off and making it 3-0 to West Ham. And Noble did get sent off, but that was a bad decision. Coutinho, you could say, I think it's one of those ones that some referees will deem it as a red card and some might deem it as a yellow. But you must give Payet credit because it was a great, 360 turn. And in a way, it looked like as if Payet stomped on Coutinho, if anything. But Coutinho's really got to make sure that he doesn't just slide for no reason. He's got to think about what he's doing because clearly his red card cost the team. But like I said, this result for me is kind of a very good, strong indicator that Liverpool and even Man United are not title contenders. They're definitely top 4 challengers, but no way title contenders in my opinion. Man City and Watford, people might have been expecting more goals, but Watford did great for the first half, kept it 0-0, but they got caught out a poor goal to concede to Sterling, a lot of space, made it 1-0, and then the game was killed off with Fernandinho with a great strike, and which we know Fernandinho has. So the bonuses, no surprise with Sané getting 3 because the clean sheet and the assists adding up, and fantasy tend to kind of favour players like that who keep a clean sheet and do something. Defenders generally get 3 points, and yeah, I mean, end of the day, great start to Man City. 4 wins, 4 clean sheets, and they're scoring goals. With the last 3 o'clock game, which was Stoke and West Brom, obviously Stoke led themselves with a very difficult challenge. Let alone 10 men, when you're 9 men, makes things even more difficult. But West Brom, I think they really needed that goal just before the first half with Rondon. And end of the day, West Brom with Beharino out, they are obviously, they showed against Chelsea they can score goals, but I'm not so sure if they can actually break a defence when all the players are behind, so parking the bus. And a very important goal, obviously Rondon's first goal for West Brom, and an important win for West Brom, no doubt. In terms of the last side of the game, which was Spurs and Everton, Kane had a great chance and Kone, similarly near the end of the game, almost scored. But on reflection, probably a fair result for both teams. There's no surprise that the free bonus went towards Howard, made 6 good saves overall in the game, and overall fair result. I think with Tottenham, obviously the transfer window shut. They've obviously bought Son from Leverkusen, and they've recruited NG from Lyon. So I think although they haven't won a game yet, and with Eriksen being injured, who no doubt is a massive player for them, people with Spurs players in fantasy shouldn't be too critical just yet. I've got Harry Kane, for instance. Kane has just scored for England twice in both games, so I think things can only get better for Spurs. But end of the day, these points will add up at the end of the season, and it's important that they quickly turn things around. For Everton, actually a great point if anything, and despite them having a quite difficult run of fixtures until November, they're still collecting points, and maybe this might be a positive season for Everton because once they get some better fixtures, they might start doing really well. In terms of the Sunday game, Southampton Norwich, once Norwich went 10 men down with Whittaker being sent off, it was a clear case of can Southampton break Norwich's defence, which they did. And there's no surprise with the bonuses being allocated. Tadic for 3, scored 2 goals, Mane for 2, 2 assists, and overall had a good game on the flank. And because Mane this time wasn't played in the middle, it was played on the flank, which kind of suited Southampton. And there's not really much to say in terms of the last Sunday game, which was Swansea and Manchester United. Man United took the lead, and considering the record in the last few games, I'm sure they would have said, okay, let's win this game 1-0 and shut us up. But for me, credit to Swansea, they've had a really great start to the season, and away you go only galvanised them to get the second goal. And the second goal, to be honest, the defenders did get caught out with the ball, but I think Romero's, you could say, inexperience cost him there. And there's no doubt, great news for Manchester United in terms of De Gea and his contract talks being reopened with his agent in the club. And that would be practically a new signing for them, considering how the last 4 game weeks have gone. They haven't missed him in the first 3 fixtures, but there's no doubt in this game they did. So that's my assessment of the results from game week 4. In terms of my team, I overall feel like I had a very positive week this week, well above the average. My captain selection, I mean, so far it hasn't hit yet in the first 4 weeks, but that's not something that worries me for now. And overall positive week. It's good that Sinclair got me some points, and I was obviously right with my bench choices. Ozil didn't play, which was a bit disappointing because considering Newcastle were 10 men down, it could have been a great opportunity for Ozil to collect some points. However, overall positive week. And so yeah, thanks for watching my video, guys. Bye.